He is a warm, lovable Brazilian of 36 years, a magnetic figure on and off the field. In his 22-year career, he has been the greatest soccer player the game has ever seen. He is Pelé. Pelé, who has played in 65 countries, who has scored more than twice as many goals in his career as his nearest competitor. He's the only man ever to have played on 3 World Championship teams. Pelé brought a new dimension to the game, a style that was at once aggressive and artistic, direct yet deceptive. He was and is an absolute marvel. He first wore shoes in a game at age 12, but at 15 he was a major league player. At 17, star of the World Cup and a major world figure. Now comes the time to call it a day. Time for the last hurrah, for a last loving, lingering day of competition in the game that has been his life. Every seat is filled. All the other players are mere spear carriers today. They know it and they don't mind because it's Pelé's day. My ABC colleague Frank Gifford is about to introduce the man who waits in the cool darkness of the athlete's entrance tunnel.
And now, the man who has shared his unparalleled for nearly a quarter of a century. The man whose impact on the true sport of the world is unequaled in any competition. The man whose elegance, dignity, and love of fellow man has surpassed all international boundaries. And the man who risked so much to give all of us here in the United States a new and ongoing appreciation of the sport he so dearly loves. At the West Tunnel, Pelé.
And now all of the crowd straining for a look at him. He hasn't come into view yet. We can't see him from here. From every corner of this mammoth stadium. A magnificent place to view any sporting event. We're watching for Pelé. Where is he? The chance begins. Here he is. Wearing for the last time the number 10 that he has made world famous. Edson Arantes do Nascimento of Brazil and the Cosmos of New York and New Jersey. Coming to play for the last time. Did you ever think you would see a crowd like that for a soccer game in the United States? Well, he's the man that has caused it. Pelé, they chant. Pelé, Pelé. And especially the kids.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Pelé.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am very happy to be here with you in this great moment in my life. I want to thank you all, everything what you offered to me. And I want to take this opportunity to ask you, in this moment when the world look to me, to take more attention to the young, the kids all over the world. We need them too much. And I want to ask you, because I believe love is the more important and what we can take in life. Everything passes. Please say to me, say with me, 3 times. Love. Love. And love. Thank you very much. Muito obrigado.
Yes, love is what this day is about. The love of this man for a game and his love for the children of the world who play it. The love of hundreds of millions of people around the world for this warm and simple man who so obviously believes what he says. Join us as we say farewell to Pelé. Some of the spectators are still making their way through the crowd and from the parking lots, but at kickoff time, the stadium will be filled. Giant Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, but today, the property of a man named Pelé, because this is the day of Pelé's farewell game. Good afternoon. I'm Jim McKay speaking to you from Giant Stadium. In addition to the more than 75,000 people who will be here in person to watch this game, we have, of course, our tremendous American television audience. And around the world, in 42 countries, they tell us that between 400 and 500 million people will be watching Pelé's farewell. Why? Well, I think, obviously, it's because he is the greatest player that the sport of soccer has ever known. Ever since at age 17, he amazed the world in the World Cup in Sweden in 1958. But I think there's more to it than that also. There's a special emotion, a special feeling here. And I think it's because Pelé truly is the kind of hero that we wish all of our heroes, in whatever field, were, and that unfortunately they so seldom are. He's a warm, loving, and very lovable man. And here's the way his great occasion is going to work. He has only played for 2 teams in addition to the Brazilian national team in his life, Santos of Brazil and the Cosmos of the New York, New Jersey metropolitan area. Well, they're playing each other today. Pelé will play the first half for the Cosmos and the last half for his old team, for Santos. If you've never seen a soccer game before, I really feel pretty safe in predicting that by the time this is over, you may have at least a small tear in your eye. Let's meet the man. Let's meet Pelé. Who is this man known as Pelé? Well, his true name is Edson Arantes do Nascimento. He was born into the poverty-stricken family of an injured minor league soccer player called Dundinho. But by age 17, he was playing in the World Cup in Sweden, a baby among hard-bitten competitors. The 4-letter name Pelé soon flashed around the world when he scored twice against Sweden to win the cup. He was living in a dream when they welcomed him home to Bauru, a national hero at an age when his friends were still in school. The street urchin from Bauru walked with queens and statesmen before he was old enough to vote. He visited country after country, and he charmed everyone he met with his warm smile and simple, direct personality. Although he was injured at the World Cup in 1962, Brazil won anyway and could retire the cup in 1966. That was not to be. In England, several teams set as their goal not the winning of the cup, but the elimination of Pelé. Portugal achieved that dubious ambition and ruined Brazil's hopes to retire the cup. Pelé would wait 4 more years for another chance. But there was always something to strive for. Pressure built on him as he neared the 1,000th goal of his career, a feat previously thought impossible. 400, for example, is a large total of lifetime goals in soccer. But in a torrential rain, one November night in 1969, before some 80,000 drenched spectators in Rio's Maracanã Stadium, Pelé scored that 1,000th goal, and Brazil was one big party. The 1970 World Cup would be in Mexico, a last opportunity for Pelé to lead his country to victory. The marvelously imaginative play of him and his teammates brought the Brazilians their long-sought goal, that 3rd World Cup. October 2nd, 1974, Pelé's last game for Santos. The career, everyone, including Pelé, thought was ended. But they did not yet know of the Cosmos. They had a wild dream that they could bring Pelé to play in the United States. He had agreed to play. Rumors said the price was $4.5 million. $4.5 million to play soccer in a country that cared little about the game. $4.5 million to play with an assemblage of minor leaguers on a team that on one occasion drew a crowd of only 79 spectators. Well, that was the deal. And there must have been times when even the moguls of Warner Communications wondered if they had made a terrible mistake. But the crowds in the North American Soccer League began to grow, slowly at first, then at an accelerated pace. And always the burden was on Pelé to sell the sport. To do that, he had to maintain his marvelous skills as he moved into his mid-30s, and he did it. Watch his amazing bicycle kick here. He has scored only 6 goals in his life with it, but this was one against the Miami Toros in August of 1976 at Yankee Stadium. It's an almost impossible-looking move. American youngsters began to bring their parents to the games rather than the other way around. Soccer had been growing, quietly but quickly, in American schools for a decade, and the kids who played knew the magic name Pelé. That was the scene when Pelé and the Cosmos won the championship of the North American Soccer League last month. The achievements are done now. It's time for the last hurrah. Now you know the man a little bit. Now to the last game of Edson Arantes do Nascimento, the last game of Pelé. There he is, wearing the number 10 that will never be seen again on a Cosmo player. After today, it will be retired forever, much as Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth were from the New York Yankees and others that followed. Pelé loosening up a little bit. There's Werner Roth, number 4, the game underway. Now we have Santos in the white, and Cosmos in the green or the dark jerseys. So Santos from Brazil has control of the ball, moving from right to left. The Cosmos goaltender is Shep Messing, an American. Werner Roth, who's wearing number 4 for them, is the only other American in the lineup. Spotting the players where he's going over. This is a flowing game. We got Santos on the attack. Number 11 there was Reynaldo, who made a fine pass. And there is Pelé immediately getting into the ball game. That was Kinaya, number 9. Number 6, Franz Beckenbauer, is the great West German star, now with the Cosmos. Remember that soccer is a flowing game. There are no set plays here. There are no timeouts. The game continues through an entire half, except for possible stoppings for injuries, and then only a slight stoppage of time, and the game continues. Normally only 2 substitutes are allowed in the game, but in a friendly game as this being called, they will probably allow more substitutes than that. But all of this lies ahead of us. Right now, the opening moments of Pelé's last game, and Santos has dominated it in the first minute and a half. But there, a fine steal by Kinaya, knocked away by the Santos defender. The goalie for Santos is Hernani. You'll notice that many of the Santos players, like Pelé, simply are known by a nickname, by a single name. And it almost never is their actual name. The Cosmos marking them very closely. There's Werner Roth, number 4, kicking it back to Carlos Alberto, who was the captain of Brazil in 1970 when they won the World Cup. Now plays for the Cosmos. This is the Cosmos, in the green, in the dark, Franz Beckenbauer. And knocked out of bounds by Santos. By number 4 of Santos, Neto. Santos again with the ball. The Cosmos not very organized so far. A bit distracted perhaps by the pregame ceremonies. Midfield fight for the ball. It's somewhat like the kind of jitters we've seen in times gone by at Wembley Stadium when we've covered the FA Cup final for the Championship of All England. The occasion is so special that it takes a little while to get back to your normal tempo of play. Carlos Alberto, number 25, moving it across field. Now Beckenbauer, number 6. Here comes Steve Hunt, the young Englishman who's been a sensation with the Cosmos. That was number 11. Now Beckenbauer going for the ball again, but again it's kicked away by Santos. Opening minutes of Pelé's last game. Giant Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. Under cloudy skies, there could be rain. And here comes Santos on the attack. Number 13, Fausto. Number 11 is Reynaldo. And the header there by Rubens. We're at Giant Stadium, Pelé's last game. There is Rose de Nascimento. She is the wife of Pelé, the mother of his 2 children, a little boy and a little girl. And there's the man playing the last game with a corner kick for the Cosmos. And grabbed with the hand. The goalie can do that by Hernani, the goalie for Santos. Beautifully centered kick, but Hernani saw it coming and made a good play. Now Santos on the attack. Santos moving. Shep Messing making an easy save that time. The American born and raised goalie, a Harvard man, in fact, played on the American Olympic team back in 1972 in Munich. Considered a great character. And also a very fine goalie, one of the best in the North American soccer league. From the Bronx, New York. Not too many Harvard-educated, Bronx-born players in world-class soccer. But here come the Cosmos with Pelé. Getting it down towards Kinaya. A little long. You'll see Kinaya make those daring moves because he's out there for one reason. Number 9 of the Cosmos is a scorer. He's paid for that and for very little else. Pelé will be everywhere. You'll see Hunt setting up the plays as well as shooting and scoring. Number 11. But Kinaya, he is the striker. He's the man who goes for the goal. This is a man who was called Toninho when he was a player. He's the father of Pelé. Injured early in his career, he was resigned to the minor leagues all his life. Lived in poverty. And then came his son. His son right now with the ball. Pelé moving it over again. Here's Steve Hunt with it. The red-headed Briton another player of either side before it gets to the goal. He cannot kick it straight in. I don't believe they've given a direct kick there. Indirect. For certain fouls, you get a direct kick. And then there is a penalty kick, which we'll explain later. There, hit another player. He's been known to do that on purpose and then try to catch the rebound as he did. Looking for the ball. Santos not in control. Not quite. Now they are. Down the sideline comes Ronaldo, number 11. He's the man that sets up their plays. Look out! The man in the open and kicked away magnificently by Rildo, number 23. At the moment when Rubens, number 9, the forward for Santos, was wide open. This is the last game of Pelé. Remember, there are more than 75,000 people. We don't have an official figure yet gathered in Giant Stadium in East Westford, New Jersey. By television, the game is being seen in some 42 countries. We have a man down. That is Nelson Moraes, number 14. Moraes of Cosmos, a former player for Santos, by the way, before he came to America. So there will be something you see very seldom in soccer, brief timeout.
There's a legacy that he's left for us that says a gentleman, a true gentleman, can still be a fierce competitor. And beyond that, the fact that here's a man who not only is a great athlete, but he's brought an additional dimension to the game. He's a great entertainer, too. And I think for all of us in sport, as well as those of us in soccer, it's this idea that we're not only athletes, but we're also entertainers. And he spoke an international language that, though he didn't speak Greek, the Greeks could understand him. Though he didn't speak English very well, we all understood what he meant. And being able to communicate with the whole world, even though you don't speak their language, was a wonderful gift. And he was a great steward of the blessings that God gave him.
This is Pelé. First played soccer without shoes, without a ball, with a sweat sock stuffed with paper that he took out of his father's room, his father being a minor league professional soccer player. Pelé playing his last game today for the Cosmos. The first half for Cosmos, the second half for Santos. That's what Pelé is going to do. Cosmos, if you just joined us in the green of the dark jersey, Santos in the white, and Santos now taking over. No score in the game. It's still early in the first half. Santos on the attack. Out to the middle. Look out. Number 8, Carlos Roberto. Easy save again for Shep Messing. He can throw the ball out or he can kick it, whatever he wants. The only player who can touch with his head. Look out. Here comes Santos. That could be a goal, and it is. No, it was off the crossbar the first time. And then kicked in by number 9, Rubens. Santos takes the lead, 1-0. Goal by number 9, Rubens. And it's not that we're not using their first names, remember. Most of the Brazilian players are known by a single name. Take a look at that again. 11, Ronaldo kicked it first, then number 9, Rubens. No, it was in the first time. 11, Ronaldo, I think. We'll get the official ruling on the score in a moment. Now the Cosmos on the move, left to right, trailing by 1-0. Tony Field, number 7, trying to get it to Pelé. Pelé fighting for the ball. Santos takes over again. The Cosmos, until, well, about midway in this past season, were a team of great international stars, of Pelé and Beckenbauer from West Germany, Canaglia from Italy, and so forth. But they had never welded together as a team. Then their new coach, Eddie Fermani, came in from the Tampa Bay Rowdies and really made a team out of it. So far today, they don't look quite as much like a team as they did in the last part of the season. In fairness, they have just returned from a long and very quick trip. They went to Japan, to mainland China, and to India. And they just got back a few days ago. Let's see if they can get going. Cosmos at Beckenbauer, losing the ball, but a whistle. Cosmos will turn the ball upfield here. It got loose for a while. And we'll put it in play with an indirect free kick. Taking it over to Terry Garbutt, number 8. Garbutt's another Englishman. And Garbutt all by himself has lost the ball. Nobody there to help him out. And here again comes Ronaldo, number 11. But I believe we had an offside. Offside. You must have 2 defenders between you and the ball at the time that the ball is passed to you. So the Cosmos will take over. Santos on the attack. There's Eddie Permani, the coach of the Cosmos, the man who really welded them into a team in the second half of this year. Former coach of the Tampa Bay Rowdies. He took a team of all-stars here, led by Pelé. As we said, for the first time, really made them a cohesive unit. That's how they won the championship of their league. Terry Garbutt going for the ball. Cosmos in the dark or green jerseys. Santos in the white. Other principals in this story today are the father of Pelé, who we'll see at halftime. Pelé is going to give his Cosmos number 10 shirt to his father. It's well-deserved because the father is the man who took him out on rock-strewn fields when he was a little kid and taught him how to play the game. Here's Moraes with the ball for the Cosmos. Moraes over to Tony Field, into the middle. Intended for Hunt, but he wasn't quite there. It was Pelé's father who had to talk Pelé's mother into allowing him at age 15 to go to Santos to become a professional football player, as they call it everywhere in the world except in the States. Here, of course, just because of the confusion, it is always soccer. In England, they sometimes call it soccer, but more usually football. For the very obvious reason, this football is played with the foot. 1-0 Santos. Late in the first half now, still no rain, under very threatening skies. Pelé with the ball. He's come down tens of thousands of times like that. But on this occasion, he lost it. All right, 1-0 Santos. Seemed to have slowed down their attack a little bit last few minutes, but this could amount to something. A balloon blowing across the field, you saw. Almost intercepted. They get it back again. They're all out here about 40 yards from the goal right now. Now they begin to move in. It's Ronaldo who scored the only goal of the game so far, number 11. All by himself. He's got 2 men in the middle. Ronaldo kicking it back again to Ailton Lira, number 13, the star of the team. Lira, however, hasn't been able to do anything so far. Pretty much like Pelé. Look out, there's Ronaldo again. A block by Shep Messi, lost it, and Giocò got it back again. Contino, they call him. His ambitions were never fulfilled because of an injury early in his career. But now he watches his son, the greatest there ever was. We're nearing the end of the first half. The last time that this man, Pelé, will play as a member of the New York Cosmos. New York and New Jersey, we should say, to be accurate with this team, because their home field here is in New Jersey, in the Meadowlands. Professor Julio Mazet, longtime advisor of Pelé on the sidelines. He's also a member of the staff of the Cosmos, in charge of their physical conditioning. Cosmos on the attack. You can imagine the endurance involved in this game. There have been no substitutes at all in this first half. A half 45 minutes long with no timeout. And another half yet to come. Remember, there's going to be halftime ceremonies to show you the most moving parts of them. And it's not just going to be your normal halftime show. It's part of the story of Pelé's farewell. Santos again. He leads 1-0. Easily the star, remember, has been a young man that they think may be the next Pelé, number 11, known simply as Ronaldo. He's age 18. 5 feet 8, maybe an inch shorter than Pelé. Built very much like him. Great dribbler, very fast, and a great shot. Scored the only goal of the game. Ronaldo, number 11, right there on the left of your screen, in the white. The ball to Ronaldo. Ronaldo losing it, however, to a pair of Cosmos defenders. And now here comes Tony Field with it. Field dodging one defender. This could turn into something. Field with the ball by himself, and he's stripped. Indirect free kick. He has both Pelé and Quinalha down ahead of him. Could have been a potential goal there, but now look kick, and Santos has at least blunted the momentum of that drive. Pelé with a hard shot into the goal! A shot into the goal! Pelé has scored in his last half for the Cosmos. And this is what today is all about. Look at them, all over him. Swamping Pelé. And you can be sure that tears are flowing down his cheeks underneath. He's tied it up for the Cosmos. There's his wife on the sideline. Rosemary, when he first met her, she was 14 years old in Santos. And her father wouldn't let Pelé take her out by himself for 7 years after that. Pelé waited. And he's done it. Let's take a look at that. Pelé, remember we told you he can be subtle, he can be slow, but he can be explosive. Watch this direct kick. The power of it into the corner. And the goalie never had a chance. 35 yards. The score, Pelé 1, Santos 1. And he sure did that one all by himself. And everybody's forgotten about the rain all of a sudden. And the wind that's gusting around the stadium. Now they're getting what they came for. To see Pelé do it one more time. Kept missing, batting it away with his fist that time. Cosmos taking over. Here's Pelé. Moving it to the sideline. These are the final minutes. We're repeating this for people just joining us. The final minutes of Pelé's play as a member of the Cosmos. Champions of the North American Soccer League. A team that he really made. He's made the sport in this country. There's no question of it. The crowds when Pelé came were no more than 10,000 anywhere. This season they've been 75,000 and more here at this stadium. There's Chinaglia by himself. Watch him. He's dangerous from any place on the field when he gets half a shot. Chinaglia, the former Italian star, imported like so many of the Cosmos. Over to Steve Hunt. Hunt, number 11, losing it. Just trying to force the ball a little bit there. Moraes fighting for the ball. And there's a whistle. See who they call it on. Moraes down. He appears to be more relaxing than anything else. As the referee and the linesman confer. Pelé looks on. Oh, he must be happy. You know, as we said at the beginning, he'd love to score at least one goal for each side. Second half it'll be for Santos. At the end of the game, we said we can only imagine what the scene will be when it's all over, when the career is ended. There was a caution to Reynaldo, the number 11 teenage star of Santos, on that penalty that time. The first half has ended. The score, Cosmos 1, Santos 1. The only goal for the Cosmos was scored by the man of the day and the hour, Pelé.
For me, he's been more than just an athletic hero. He's certainly been somebody I grew up hearing about, and to play on the same team with him, it's the ultimate. But more than a great athlete, I found him to be one of the greatest men that I've ever met in terms of his personality, his character, how he deals with kids. So for me, it's a once-in-a-lifetime thrill to be able to say that I've played on a team with Pelé.
I feel it's very, very shame for all, not only for me, it's a shame for all people in the world, for all soccer fans in the world. Then he is the greatest.
Anybody would love to play with him, but you can't put it into words. He's been the greatest. I don't think there'll ever be anybody like him ever again.
Pelé, being the type of person he is, off the field as well as on, I think he's taught the players with the Cosmos, especially myself, he's taught us so many things about life, number one, and about the game, and about our outlook towards the game, and about our outlook towards success, and about our outlook towards other people that make you successful, that I can't envision the last 2 years having been without him. I think it would have been much different.
We're at halftime of Pelé's farewell game. Giant Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. The score, Santos 1, Cosmos 1. They're the only two teams for which this man has ever played. He started his career with Santos at age 15. He had seen to retire at one point. He thought he had, but then he was induced to come to America to try to introduce this game once and for all to the Americans. In 3 years, he succeeded to the point where today there are more than 75,000 people here. Having played the first half for Cosmos, he will now play the second half for Santos. The team he started with when he was 15 years old, the team he led to 2 World Team Cup championships and many other glories. But right now at halftime, he's going to present this jersey, his Cosmos shirt, to his father. No Cosmos player will ever wear number 10 again. Announcement on the public address system. And now the father coming out. When he was a player, this man in the middle, being led up by Werner Roth, one of the Cosmos defenders, and the captain of the Cosmos, he was known as Dondinho. He was a good player. Headed for the big leagues, it seemed, when he was injured, a really serious knee injury. He wouldn't give up. It made for a great deal of acrimony. Gone all the way, has made millions, has put his father and his mother in a magnificent house in Santos, has made literally all of their dreams come true. And now the father will get one more memento. The most famous number in the history of world sport. Pele's number 10. Photographers here from every place, literally, around the world. The father is still coming out. He's having a little trouble getting through the photographers. Is the problem at the moment. There he is. Dondinho, again, was a nickname for him. Like Pelé, and like most Brazilian soccer players, he played under an assumed nickname. It's just a tradition now. And now, all the photographers gathered around, and the Cosmos team, the green jerseys, father and son. Here is the moment when number 10 of the Cosmos disappears forever. It blew away. It disappears from America, but it will remain in the home of this man. In a pouring rain, Pelé and his father couldn't be more oblivious to the elements. The umbrella not helping too much. That's Werner Roth, the captain of the Cosmos, an American, embracing his teammate Pelé. None of the members of this Cosmos team make any secret of the fact that this is the man who's made them. And now he will put on for the last time a jersey he hasn't worn for several years. Santos, he thought he had worn it for the last time when he retired a little over 3 years ago. That was also on a rainy day in a great stadium. So Pelé will now take to the field in the white jersey, the white uniform of Santos. The story is half done, but there's half yet to come. The score, Santos won. Cosmos won. What will Cosmos be like without Pelé? Time for Act 2 in the farewell to soccer of Pelé, the greatest player the game has ever known. He's still wearing number 10 as he did in the first half, but this time it's the white jersey of Santos, the team with which he started his career in Brazil at age 15. The score at the moment is 1-1. The only goal for Cosmos in the green jerseys here was scored in the first half by Pelé, but now they don't have him. And for the first time in the last 3 years, Cosmos will now find out what it's going to be like in the future to play without Pelé. On the attack now, this is the man they say may be the new Pelé, that number 11, Reinaldo of Santos. There have been substitutions in the second half. We'll pick them up as we go along. Most of them in the defense for Cosmos. Santos. There is Pelé in the middle for Santos, kicking the ball. It goes wide. In the first half, Cosmos were not able to get the ball into Pelé. He never got one successful pass to him when he was in the penalty area from which you normally score. In the closing minutes of the first half, on a direct penalty kick, he rifled a shot into the corner of the net to score the only goal for Cosmos. The traditional charge cry going throughout the stadium. And it is going to be very interesting for American soccer fans to see how well Cosmos here can do, as we said, without Pelé. They are a tired team. Remember, they've been on a tour of the Far East. They went to Japan, they went to mainland China, they went to India. Just got back a few days ago, and all that took place since the season ended with their great victory in the Soccer Bowl over Seattle. You'll notice they have not changed ends. Normally they would change ends in soccer as they would in football. The reason they don't today is so that the fans at each end will have a chance to see Pelé on the attack. And that is Pelé moving the ball downfield, but not a successful pass. Moraes getting it for Cosmos and slipping on the wet field. Still raining, but it's let up a little bit from what it was at the end of the first half. That's a new goalie in for Cosmos, Erol Yasin. He's a Turkish player, former Turkish national goalie, 28 years old, just came to Cosmos this year. But again, Santos has the ball. We're in the early moments of the second half. Pelé's farewell game, or adeus, as they say in Portuguese, his native tongue. There was Pelé just chesting the ball gently, leaving it for another player. Now Beckenbauer, and out of bounds it goes. In the first half, Pelé touched the ball 18 times, never inside the penalty area, and yet got a goal on that one slim chance that he had on the direct penalty kick. Here he is in the white jersey. And here's Moraes for the Cosmos. Replacing Pelé for Cosmos in this half is number 15, Ramon Mifflin, a former Peruvian international and a former teammate of Pelé's when he was with Santos. Okay, that's Rubens, number 9, to Pelé. Pelé over to the right side to number 2, Fernando. And no chance there. It's a rainy afternoon in New Jersey. But what a wonderful, warm, and emotional day it is for this man, Pelé, number 10, playing his final game, and for the 75,000 people who gathered. We're just minutes into the start of the second half. Remember, the moment of the day is expected to be when it's all over, and when Pelé takes his final lap of this stadium. It's not just that his career is coming to an end as far as Americans are concerned. It's also the question that he finally made soccer a going concern in this country in just 3 short years, increasing the crowds from 5 and 10,000 to 70 and 75,000. Cosmos on the attack, though. This is Topic, a Yugoslav. Jadranko Topic, number 18. He's just come into the game in the second half. Getting it to Steve Hunt. Steve Hunt, remember, a very good player. A man of the future. Almost got it to Canalia's head. But there is the rebound by Mifflin. And let's see, are they calling it good? Yep. A goal for Ramon Mifflin, replacing Pelé for Cosmos. And the American champions take the lead by 2-1. You saw Canalia missing the header there. Alert play by Mifflin, driving in, rifling the ball past the Santos goalie. So it's Cosmos 2-1. Cosmos 2, Santos 1. Now, can Pelé tie it up for his old team? The man in jersey number 10 thought he had retired that jersey a little over 3 years ago when he played his last game for Santos on a rainy day in Brazil. There's a kick going awry over the top of the goal. Pelé thought that really was the end for him, but at that time he didn't know men named Steve Ross and Jay Emmett and particularly Clive Toy, then president of the Cosmos. He found out about them, though, when they came to him and said, why don't you play just a couple more years for a tremendous sum of money to try to make soccer in the one great country that doesn't understand it or know it well, the United States. That won him over, and he came, and he's done the job in 3 years. But this is the real end for Pelé. I think, personally, he may play some exhibition games in the future for charity, things like that. But he assures us this is the last time, today, he will ever play as a regular member of a team. He's playing for the white jersey team now, remember, in the second half, having played for the green jerseys Cosmos in the first half. The score at the moment, Cosmos 2, Santos 1. And there's a foul call. The free kick for Santos. Number 5 putting the ball into play, Zé Mario. The official attendance, well, there were 76,891 tickets sold. Of that number, with a heavy threat of rain, and it is raining now, 75,646 actually showed up and are in place. A historic crowd in the history of American soccer, no question of that. Well, here's Topic, the Yugoslav for Cosmos, who lead in the game by 2-1. Getting it over to Vito Dimitrijevic. A whistle, and that was a foul that looked like it was called on Canalia. Number 9 there for Cosmos. I thought Could have gone the other way. So did Canale. Santos trailing by 2-1. There's still a good way to go in this game. A good way to go before Pelé makes his last ceremonial lap here. Santos trying to get organized. Cosmos' defense much more effective than it was in the first half. And they are new defenders, several of them. Santiago Formoso, number 5, recently acquired from the Connecticut Bicentennial, is in there. Mike Dillon, number 20, a 25-year-old Englishman. Carlos Alberto is still in there, along with Nelson Moraes on the defense. Here comes Steve Hunt. Over to Topic. Topic getting it into the middle. Canale had overrun that area before the ball got there. So Santos takes over. 2-1 Cosmos. Pelé has been strangely quiet the last few minutes. That is when he is, in fact, truly the most dangerous. And here comes Clodoaldo all by himself. A good move, a good try. Also, well defended against by number 20, Mike Dillon. Okay, here comes Clodoaldo, who just came in the second half. And there was the defensive play by Mike Dillon, sliding in the wet. Corner kick. Remember, when the ball goes over the end line, hit by the defenders, the offensive team gets that corner kick. Pelé was moving in there, but the save was very well done by Yacine, the new goalie for the Cosmos. Shep Messing played first half, but he is out now. Cosmos in green, moving from left to right. Again, they did bad reception there by Topic. So the game goes on, and so does Pelé. For just a little longer. Last time out on the playing field for number 10, Pelé. He's playing for Santos. They trail 2-1 in the second half. He scored the only goal for Cosmos in the first half, then changed shirts. He's now playing for Santos, and he'd like to tie it up for them because they trail 2-1. He has not had a good shot on goal, but in the first half, he only had one, that from a direct penalty kick. A direct kick after a penalty, I should say, on which he scored. Steve Hunt, number 11 for Cosmos. They lead by 2-1. Another goal could make it tough to settle. Here comes Hunt. Watch out. This is a good shot. It hit the goalie, then the sidebar. Bit of a fortunate break, but the goalie did make a good serve. In the pouring rain, here's how it happened. Look at, there's Hunt. Hit the goalie, then the post, and then back to the goal. So, a near thing against Santos that time. They still trail by 2-1 under the floodlights in the late afternoon here at Giant Stadium in New Jersey. This has been a week in New York when they've had a heavyweight championship fight. The New York Yankees trying to clinch the pennant again today. And by far the biggest crowd of the week is right here in the pouring rain. There's Clodoaldo for Santos. Ball loose in the middle. A battle for the ball. Cosmos coming up with it. Moraes. Nelson Moraes. They're the American champions. Getting it to Beckenbauer, number 6. Number 3, Mitrijevic. Another Yugoslav. The rain is great gobs. At one point it was falling finely, but then it blows almost into a big wet ball. Trying to set it up. Moraes on the sideline, number 14, a Brazilian, another former member of Santos. There's Canale in the middle. Mifflin couldn't get in. Cosmos still have it. Beckenbauer over the middle to Dillon, number 20. Over to Formosa, new member of the Cosmos. He lost it, got it back. But a whistle and the ball will go to Santos. Pelé, remember again, scored for Cosmos in the first half. Can he score for Santos? If he does, at least at this point, he'll tie up the game. Good way still to go in this game. And after that, the final farewell of Pelé, his last circuit of the field. So there he is. Ball into the middle, headed away. Carlos Alberto getting it out for Cosmos. Steve Hunt, number 11. Hunt down the middle. Getting it down for Topic. Topic has another man in the middle if he can get it across. There it is. Up, kicked away. He's trying to get it to Quinalia, the great explosive scorer for Cosmos. It's a soaking wet farewell at the moment for Pelé, wearing his great number 10 for the last time in his career. Here's the ball for Santos. Bring it down, still in the Cosmos half of the field. He scored the only goal for Cosmos in the first half. Now trying to even it up for Santos. They trail Cosmos by 2-1 on a goal by Ramon Mifflin early in the second half. We're past the halfway mark, nearing the end of this game, actually. Time left, but the footing is getting more and more treacherous every minute. It's going to be difficult to score now. Might need a break of some sort. A loose ball. Here comes Cosmos again. Quinalia, number 9. He's their scorer who has not been loose at any time today. Leading Steve Hunt. Hunt going for it near the end line. Gets it into the middle. Trying to get it over to Topic, number 18. Couldn't quite do it. Again, a good look at the force of this rain coming down on the artificial surface. Rose do Nascimento, the wife of Pelé, not fully protected from the rain. She's going to hang right in there till the last minute her man ever plays. Pelé is the father of 2 children. Little Kelly, his daughter. Little Edson, or Edinho, they call him. It's named after his dad. Remember, Pelé's real name is Edson Arantes do Nascimento. The Cosmos have the ball right now. Pelé has not had a decent shot for Santos in the second half. There's Mike Dillon, the defender, with the ball right now. But you see the defenders way downfield sometimes in soccer. One of the appeals is that anybody can score. Continuous game, no timeouts, 45-minute halves. Pelé moving the ball to the right side of the field. Again, the lights are on here. Santos still trying to set it up. There he get it to Pelé. There's the kick. Off, high into the right. But still, Cosmos 2, Santos 1. When he was 15, he came out of a town called Bauru. Came down to Santos. A lonely little kid on a railroad train by himself. Now Pelé, playing his last game, has seen everything. He's visited 88 countries, has played in 65 of them. He's met, as we said, I believe, 10 kings, 5 emperors, 70 presidents, and 40 other heads of state, including 2 popes. Pelé, one of the most well-known people in the world, not just that. But with Santos in this half, he can't get anything going. He's right in there, head of the ball. Past the left side of the goal. Boy, he is still so exciting. Watches the ball is passed across to him. Pelé with the move, watch the head. But just caught it a little bit the wrong angle. As you see it curving foul. Not far off, and as you can see, Yacine, the goalie, would have had no chance on it. Pelé goes on, trying for that one last goal.
To me, Pelé is a synonym for the word soccer. He set all the standards in the game, and he's the world's greatest player.
I still think he's great. He knows everything about soccer. He knows how to set up plays. If it wasn't for him, Quinalia wouldn't score so many goals. On TV, when I watch him, he shows me. He does the stuff that I want to do. I think, guys, he's one of the best soccer players in the world, and he sort of started soccer.
He started soccer in America, and I don't think he's one of the greatest. I think he is the greatest.
Should be the most emotional moment is yet to come. The final lap of this stadium by Pelé. Here he is. Oh, the ball almost getting to him. He was only about 10 yards from the goal at that point. Santos still trailing Cosmos by 2-1. But it isn't a question of the team score. It's a question of, can he do for Santos once more what he did for Cosmos in the first half? Score a goal. Well, right now, It's the American team with the ball. The American champion Cosmos, Topic, 18, losing it on that pass. Santos try to set it up for Pelé again. Not much time left to do it now. It's going to have to happen soon. It was just about this point in the first half, though, where he scored. Pelé with the ball now. Getting it into the center. With Beckenbauer knocking it away. And Yassin, the goalie, coming out. He can come all the way out to the end of that penalty area with the ball in his hand. Actually, he's the only man on the team who can, the goalie. Out of bounds. Career literally ticking away now. 1 minute and 1 second. 1 minute exactly. It's less than a minute left of the 22-year career. A few horns beginning to sound already. They're getting ready for their final tribute to Pelé. Cosmos with the ball. It would be nice if he could at least get one more shot at goal. Doesn't look like it with 41 seconds to go. But now Santos has it. Here they come downfield. Pelé is back in the middle of the field. Now he begins to move down as the ball goes down the right side. Oh, the man for whom it was intended, Clodoaldo, slipped and fell in the slop. There's Pelé. Right out around the midfield circle. 21 seconds, 20 seconds to go. Cosmos with the ball. And now the crowd is beginning to chant, Pelé, Pelé, Pelé. Cosmos killing the clock. 12 seconds, 11, now 10. I don't think he's going to get a shot. But look out, don't be quite sure yet. Santos has the ball. And here's Clodoaldo by himself. Up to the whistle. And it's all over. That's it. The game is over. And the career of Pelé, of Edson Arantes de Nascimento, has come to an end. Cosmos, the team for which he played the last part of his career, has defeated his old team Santos by a score of 2-1. There's Canalia talking to him. Reyes, and now Pelé coming to the center of the field because there's going to be a formal farewell. That's Cosmo Reyes. Played with him in Brazil and in New York, New Jersey. Ending in the rain, as did his first retirement from Santos a little more than 3 years ago. He came to the United States with one object in mind: to make Americans aware of what a great sport soccer is, and he's done it. With today's attendance, over 75,000, with previous attendance figures this year, 77,000, and not only in this area, but they've been doing it in Seattle, in the Dome out there. They've been drawing well in San Jose and in Tampa, and more all around the league. And every player in the league, every coach, every official will be quick to tell you that there basically has been one reason: Pelé. Now, though, the league seems to be ready to go on its own. And next year will be the test. Before that, though, this final moment. He's going to give this jersey to Valdemar de Brito. The man he's going to give this to is a man who saw an 11-year-old kid playing with some construction workers a long time ago. Valdemar de Brito saw that kid and said, "My heavens, he is something unusual." He put him on a junior team, gave him his first pair of soccer boots. And when Pelé was 15, again, it was Valdemar de Brito who came to his hometown and convinced his mother that this 15-year-old youngster should be allowed to take that lonesome train ride and to become a professional player. Valdemar de Brito, himself a great player for Brazil in the 30s, now receives the Santos number 10 that Pelé wore with glory for so many years. And now, the final farewell, with an American flag in one hand, a Brazilian flag in the other, and the music, Old Lang Syne. Just watch and listen. The music is Old Lang Syne, but it isn't New Year's Eve because there's no tomorrow in the career of Pelé. No New Year coming. Not as far as that plain career is concerned. But we said the story was about love today. And there it is. The love of the man for the people, the love of the people for the man, the kind of a hero we all want to see. We'll meet him in a minute.
Pelé, you've had many emotional moments in your life. This has to be one of the best, one of the tops for you. A tremendous turnout on a terrible day, and you obviously felt the deep love they have for you in this country.
No doubt. This is a great moment. I love.
You came here 3.5 years ago, and you have turned this country on to your sport. But as much as anything, they have accepted you and loved you.
It's beautiful because you see the people recognize what you do. What I did because I put my heart, because I believe in people, I believe in the sport. And the more beautiful is when the people recognize what you're doing. I want to say,
we thank you. Cos?
I'm very, very happy.
And it is a great moment. And your own feelings when you saw that tremendous round of applause? Well, obviously, such a touching moment.
Thank you.
We thank you in this country.
Okay.
We will thank you for all time to come. All the young people that you have turned on to this game will have nothing but deep feelings for a man named Pelé, who, more than a great soccer player,
thank you very much.
Elegance, brought dignity, and we are very proud to have you in our country.
Thank you.
Final word from Rose.
Just thank you very much for everything you gave my husband.
You're a beautiful man. We congratulate you both.
I love you. I love you. Thank you.
Well, we said the story was about love today. And there it is. The love of the man for the people, the love of the people for the man, the kind of a hero